Good evening and welcome to the third game of our quintuple header here of PIHANA hockey as the Boston Yachts travel west to New York City, the Geico Center, to take on the New York Empire. Hope you've enjoyed the first two games of our quintuple header so far, as we've had quite the offensive output, with Calgary putting up 11 and Montreal at home putting up 8. We'll see if either the Empire or the Yachts are able to match that offensive output and give us an exciting game here for Game 3. New York wins the first faceoff, and it'll be Sly Kovalov entering the zone for New York. Picked off, and now back up the way. Picked off again. New York now with it. Kovalov pressed to the boards by Backlov. Holenbeck now with it. Sticked away by Gron. Calvin Anderson gets it wide to Jackson King. Jackson King gets planted there by Rayo Heinonen. Heinonen now up with it. Coming across the line is Kovalov. Tries to center it, and it gets knocked away. Backlov up to King. King gets it to the blue line, tries to get it deep and can't quite do it. Stevens to King. King in front. Can't get the shot away. Anderson up top to Backlov to Stevens in the slot. Anderson stop. It is Otto Anderson in net for the New York Empire, and then Benny Sobel in net for Boston. Bedesiani had the goal, was in goal last night. They decided to not give him the back-to-back, so it will be Benny Sobel. And they wanted to get a look at Anderson after they pulled Ellis Rask in their last game. Did the Empire, so they'll give it a look to Otto Anderson here. In a crucial game here in the America Division standings, both these teams sitting at 1-1. Boston sitting at 1-2, but with just 3 points. Winner of this game will be tied for first with whoever wins the Detroit-Minnesota game later on today. So a big game here in the America Division. Our first All-America game of this quintuple header today. New York and Boston get ready to do battle here in this Atlantic Coast matchup. Christensen now up for Boston. Has been Chatal to O'Shea, and it just goes wide. Anderson might have got a stick on that, not sure if it just went wide. Battle for it there. Paul and Chatal in the corner, and Paul gets it away. Now Tito Westbrook loses it to Antonison. Antonison now up with it, and he'll be tripped by Tito Westbrook. Touched up there. So Tito Westbrook headed to the penalty box. The tripping call. Olav Antonison draws the penalty there with the trip. So Boston will head to the power play. It'll be Edsvin Shipatal, to Jordan in the slot, and it's knocked away by Anderson. Sebastian Nash tries to get it to Lindholm, and he loses it. Now Lindholm able to pick it up, and we'll dump it down. Minute 45 left here on the power play. Joubert on it for Boston. Stretch pass to O'Shea. O'Shea gets it knocked out of the zone. Joseph Michelson tries to flip it. Can't get it through. Lindholm goes cross ice to Paul. Paul tries to cut to the middle. He'll flip it to the opposite corner. Joubert now with it to O'Shea. Nolan Cherry now comes up, and he's bodied there by Edmund Paul. Paul gets back on the puck, and Nash gets it out of the zone. Lindholm up to Michelson. Michelson plastered to the boards there. So Isaac Christensen met him. Lindholm tries to get it in deep, and he will. First one on it will be Christensen. Minute gone here on the power play. Has been Chatal. Shot gets blocked away. Holenbeck on it for New York. Up to Sebastian Nash, and he loses it to Christensen. 40 seconds left here on the power play for Boston. Josiah Stevens tries to cut in. Anderson down low. King stopped by Anderson. And Rayo Heinonen will flip it on out. 6 minutes gone here in the first period. This game between Boston and New York. Shot gets blocked away by Sobel. Good little slot positioning there for New York on the turnover. King in. Shot stopped by Anderson. He'll keep play going. Holenbeck to Heinonen. With just 5 seconds left, that ought to do it. That clear. So New York able to kill off that first penalty of the evening against Boston here. Anderson now with it for the Yachts, and he gets tripped up now. Petrick with it. Sobel able to get to the bench. So the extra attacker on for Boston. Petrick going wide, and they'll try to pass it in front. I believe that's McIntyre picking it off. The penalty will be on Tony DiFalino. So DiFellino heading to the box. Upset with the call. So he gets his stick in there on the Speedy Anderson. So Boston again will head to the power play, see if they can get a little more going than they did on their last opportunity. Schvital against Westbrook in the dot. Schvital wins it back to Joubert. Joubert tries to center Romainders. Gil Romainders picks it off and flips it down. First one on it will be Brandon Jordan. He'll get it up to Nolan Cherry. Nolan Cherry trying to beat him inside. Nick O'Shea at the slot. Shot. I'm not sure if Anderson got a foul on that or if it went wide again. Romainders trying to get it out. Boston keeps it in. Schvital down low and it goes wide. Jordan back down low to O'Shea. Cherry to Joubert. Schvital up to Jordan. Joubert now will dance with it. Goes down low. O'Shea tries to go short side and it's saved by Anderson. Out in front, stopped again by Anderson on the deflection. So good pressure here on this power play, and Anderson will put an end to that. Looks like Mike McIntyre will take the draw against Esben Fatal. And keeping that second unit out there for the Yachts. He loses the draw to McIntyre, and Hollenbeck will flip it out. Joubert on it there. Gets it up to O'Shea. O'Shea up to Cherry. Cherry to Schvital. Schvital cutting in, gets bodied there. And it's going to be a penalty on New York, another one. So New York, their first game against Boston did not have penalty issues. In their game against Toronto, they just couldn't get out of their own way with penalties all over the place. And it looks like this is the start of kind of the same deal for New York. So we saw them get into trouble against Toronto that way. See if Boston can capitalize as they have all 7 shots in the early going here. Christensen down low to Stevens. Steven gets it back to the point. Vinogradov shot. Anderson, I believe, got a piece of that and it kicked away to Michelson, and Michelson flipped it down. So just 35 seconds left here of 5-on-3 action. King with room. King goes wide, shot, and stopped by Otto Anderson, and he'll hold. So Otto Anderson does need to be big so far in the early going, and he has done so. Big stops on these Boston power plays. Anderson face McIntyre in the dot. Vinogradov tries to get it down low. Lindholm picks it off. Sebastian Nash away with it. And Gil Romainders will flip it out. Boston might have one more opportunity to get it in the zone on this 5-on-3 before it goes to just a single man advantage. Stevens wide, tries to cut through, loses it. Romainders will get up with it and flip it out, and that will do it for the 5-on-3. But still 1:06 on the power play. Stevens now coming up. So we'll have a man advantage here. Stops. Oh, and Romainders reads that well as he was looking for Anderson cutting to the slot. Christensen back with it. He's pressed to the boards by Sebastian Nash. It'll come free to Stevens. Jackson King now up with it. King trying to cut wide. Gets knocked off his stick. Nash able to pick it up and flip it out. Just over 30 seconds left here on the power play. Christensen to Stevens. As we approach the halfway point of the first period. Stevens in the middle. Anderson gets blocked away. Edmund Paul will flip it out. So good pressure from Boston here. They have just 12 seconds left on the power play. Need something quick. Gets it across to Anderson. Anderson slap shot sticked away by Anderson. It'll be Paul behind his own net. He'll flip it back there. Power play is gone. Still in the offensive zone. King goes off the post. He beats Anderson but can't get it through the post. Stevens down low. Can't get it all the way through. Hollenbeck now out of the box. And he's tripped up by Calvin Anderson. So now New York will get their own power play. Calvin Anderson gets the stick in on Gottfried Hollenbeck. The trip right there. So New York heads to the power play, seeing if they can get something going here. So it'll be Clarkson against Adolfson. Rayo Heinonen. Kuznetsov scores! It is Alexei Kuznetsov, set up by Heinonen on the face-off win by Jamie Ryba. So immediately after 3 straight power plays for the Yachts, they cannot capitalize, and right away the New York Empire come away with the goal. Rayo Hennenin for New York gets it away up to Ryba. We are back to 5-on-5 action. 8.5 minutes left here in the first. Jamie Ryba cutting wide. Now goes behind into the corner. Ryba down low, knocked away. Shot. Oh, and a good stop there by Sobel. Sobel will keep play going. Kovalov had it in front and couldn't get a shot away. Christensen cross ice to O'Shea. Nick O'Shea trying to create some speed. He's pressed to the boards there. It'll be Hennenin. He'll get tripped, and Nick O'Shea another trip. So New York back to the power play after they just buried one past Benny Sobel. It'll be Mike McIntyre in the dot, and he'll lose. Backlov will get it out. Paul will catch it out of the air and flip it up to Kovalov. He gets bodied there by Adolfson. Adolfson now to McIntyre for New York. Into the slot. Kovalov gets blocked away. Barron and McIntyre had opportunities, but Sasha Backlov able to pick it up, flip it out of the zone. And Gottfried Ollenbeck back there for New York to pick it up. 7 minutes remaining here in the first. Barron gets it sticked away. It'll be Brandon Jordan. Pressed to the boards by the benches there. Brandon Jordan still with Adolfson now. And Hollenbeck will be back on it for New York. Kovalev to Barron. Barron looking to enter. Has room. Cuts to the center. Gets it cross ice. And it's going to be a slash there on Adolfson. So we're going to have a 5-on-3 here. Stopped in front and touched up by Jordan. So about 30 seconds of 5-on-3 action as Ingolf Adolfson on that centering pass slashes away. Who was it trying to get the shot away? I didn't quite see it. I believe that's Barron trying to get the shot away, and he slashes in on him. So now 5-on-3 for New York. Actually, for a minute, I thought it was going to be 30 seconds, but it is a whole minute. Kuznetsov. Clarkson now. Shot. Oh, and a good toe save by Benny Sobel. Westbrook into the slot. Off the post. Oh, what an opportunity. And Sobel better give that post a little stick tap there as he was beat dead to rights by Tito Westbrook. That post keeps it out. Boston so far winning the face-off advantage, although the one goal for New York came off a quick face-off win by Jamie Ryba. Clarkson wins it back. Hennenin. Stick save by Sobel. Westbrook. Clarkson gets it up top to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov will cut low. Shot. Knocked away. Westbrook tries to get it on net. Can't get it through. Oh, and then tries to center. Can't quite see who that was going on the back door. Might have been Ryba. No. I think it was Clarkson going on the back door. Ryba now up with it. Under 6 minutes left here. And a score! It is Tito Westbrook, who was just denied by the post. He will not be denied this time as he fires one right through Benny Sobel. So another power play goal. This one set up again by Jamie Ryba and Rayo Hennenin. So now just a single man advantage with 1:20 left here. New York will win it back. Hennenin up to Ryba. Ryba gets it deflected away. They'll fight there with Anderson. Now up to Jordan. Brandon Jordan will stop. Tries to get through, gets crunched. Caesar Clarkson away with it for New York. He'll get it poked away. Brandon Jordan out in front. Out Anderson. Oh, Anderson can't beat Anderson. What an interesting phrase there, huh? Tito Westbrook now. Tito Westbrook tries to get through, and he's knocked off by Backlov. Flip down. Rayo Hennenin. Gets it up to Jamie Ryba. Jamie Ryba to Caesar Clarkson. Clarkson will turn. Clarkson still with it there. Ryba fights with it. Westbrook now, most recent goal scorer for New York. Westbrook sticks with it. Good strength there, but he's knocked off the puck finally by Backlov, and he'll backhand it out. So just 20 seconds left here on the man advantage for New York. They've gotten 2 power play goals already here in the first period, and we still have over 4.5 minutes left here of action. Calvin Anderson now with it with 5 seconds left. Oh, but a deflection there, and Ryba will come in. Backlov reads it well. Gets it to Adolfson, who's fresh out of the box. Adolfson will retreat in his own zone, up to Joubert, up to Jordan. Jordan will then flip it down. First one to it is Esmond Schwittal. He's behind the net. We're waiting for reinforcements. Kovalov for New York, able to come in, gets it to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov to Clarkson. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the first period. Clarkson pressed to the boards there by Vinogradov. Clarkson now in front. Oh, and a good glove stop by Benny Sobel. Vinogradov now will come up for Boston. Mil Vinogradov. Stops. Oh, tries to get it centered to O'Shea, and he couldn't quite get it through. McIntyre now beats Petrick. Barron stopped by Sobel. Nick O'Shea up to Vinogradov. Vinogradov to Svital. Esben Svital tries to cut to the middle, and he loses it. Kuznetsov will pick it up there for New York. Barron. Oh, and that's going to be a penalty here on Boston again. An elbowing call going to come to Isaac Christensen. So a bit of a disastrous first period here, and yet Boston still only finds themselves down 2, and they have to keep it that way on this penalty kill. They have 3 power plays to begin the session. They're unable to score. New York gets 3 power plays. They score on 2 of them. Boston will win the win the face-off, and Tonison gets it out. Barron will flip it down, and Tonison will have it behind his own net. King now out with it. First one back is Edmund Paul. He's watched by Danny Abraham. Up to Emil Barron, and Abraham pokes it away. Abraham with a chance, and he's blasted by Gottfried Hollenbeck in the open ice. Edmund Paul across the blue line will stop. Looking for options. Doesn't have any. Legs at the zone. Paul will keep control of it, but outside the zone. Gottfried Hollenbeck now will enter. Tries to get to the center, and Bogran reads that well and flips it out. Be all the way down for Gottfried Hollenbeck. Minute gone in the power play. Sly Kovalov. Cross ice to Ryba. Ryba with 2 assists so far tonight. Ryba tries to get low. Gets bumped off the puck and Braun fishes it out of the corner. Hollenbeck to Ryba. Ryba blasted there by Backlov at the line. Shot stopped by Sobel. It was Abraham with the hit. And Tonison up with it for Boston. Can't quite get it out. Kuznetsov gets it to Heinonen. Heinonen tries to get it down low, and Abraham able to pick that one off, and we'll get it out. Just 20 seconds left here, remaining on the power play for New York. Heinonen up to Ryba. Ryba to Clarkson. Larson trying to stay wide. Keeps control of the puck. Kuznetsov down low. Ooh, and it misses everybody. And we're going to have another penalty here. A slash on Dale Kolar. So a full penalty box with Christensen and Kolar sitting shoulder to shoulder. Kolar with just a slash in there as the centering pass was coming in. Looked like it missed everybody, and that's why it missed everybody, that centering pass. So just 8 seconds of 5-on-3, but more importantly, they'll just get to continue their power play. So Joubert will get it out, so that'll end the 5-on-3. So now New York will get an opportunity to rush back in with a man advantage. Sly Kovalov now up with it. Nobody's stopping him yet. Joubert tried to step up, and Sobel will stop it. Joubert gets it from Sobel, and he'll get it out. And that is going to do it for the first period of action here. The clock expires there. So New York will have about a minute and a half, if I'm not mistaken, of power play time. That'll carry over into the second period. But New York, with 2 power play goals here in the first, will take a 2-0 lead on the Boston Yachts here after 1. We are going to send you to a quick intermission, and then we will be right back to New York City for the start of the second period. We are back to New York City. Is this battle between 2 American rivals, the Boston Yachts and the New York Empire. They met on opening night, these two, and New York came away with the win on the road, 5-2 in Boston. And we're back to action. Boston, is shorthanded. Westbrook now in. Westbrook with a chance. Oh, and it just goes wide. Ryba behind the net tries to get out in front. Sobel reads that. He'll get it back to Joubert, and he'll flip it out. 19.5 minutes left here in the second. I can't tell you what, if I had to guess, they got about a minute left on their power play as Westbrook will come in across the blue line. Stop there. Tries to get it down low, and it's picked off by Backlov, but Clarkson able to get it right back. Westbrook to Heinonen. Shot. Ryba is there to block it. His own teammate Jordan Oh, and he had an opportunity with Adolfson, but just decides to flip it down anyway. Kuznetsov there. Adolfson trying to put the pressure on. He'll get it up. Clarkson tries to center Westbrook. Down low to Ryba. Ryba out in front. Clarkson blocked away. Backlov will fight for it in the corner with Ryba. Out to Clarkson. He'll lose it to Jordan. Brandon Jordan will come up. Brandon Jordan flips it in. And it'll be Rayo Heinonen. Heinonen up to Ryba. Ryba to Westbrook. Westbrook shot. Blocked down by Sabo. Ryba behind the net. Clarkson scores! Another goal set up by Jamie Ryba. This one will also be set up by Tito Westbrook. So another, I believe that's going to go down as a power play goal. So a 3-0 lead here just to start the second period. And Boston finds themselves in deep trouble. As offense has been, at times, tough to come by. I know they have the 10-goal game against Ottawa, but other games it has not been as easy for them offensively. So they are looking, can they figure out a way to get 3 goals without giving up any more after that? Picked off by Christensen for Boston. Gives it up to Svital. Svital tries to get it in. They don't have numbers. It'll be Victor Lindholm behind the net for New York. Up to Nash. Nash to DiFolino. DiFolino stops, turns, over to Paul. O'Shea will come away with it. Uses his speed. He has Christensen on his left. Christensen shot. Stop. And O'Shea scores. Nick O'Shea gets the pass to Christensen. Christensen fires it off the pad of Otto Anderson. And then it is put through by Nick O'Shea. Big goal there for Boston as they now make it a 3-1 game here in the early going of the second period. Neil Vinogradov to Calvin Anderson. Anderson will stop, try to center, and Lindholm picks it off. New York now with it. Paul up to Lindholm. Lindholm will stop, turn. Stop there. Well, it's kept in the zone by Lindholm. He shots and it's knocked down by Sabo. Gets it up to King. King with a little bit of room. He's met there by Lindholm. Anderson in the slot, down to Antonison. It's blocked out in front. Not sure it got all the way to Otto Anderson. Neil Barron for New York. 5 minutes gone here in the middle frame. Here in New York. Sabo with the chest save, and he'll hold on to it. So we'll have a face-off down in the Boston zone. It'll be Clarkson against Anderson. And Stevens will come away with it for Boston. Stevens pressed to the boards there over by the benches. Ryba will come free. He's had 3 assists in the game so far. Clarkson to Ryba. Ryba shot. Stopped by Sabo. And he'll hold. We're ready for another face-off here in the Boston zone. It'll be Abraham. Can't quite. Oh, against Clarkson as well. Petrick now away with it. Petrick loses it. It'll be Sly Kovalov up with it. Danny Abraham for Boston. Coming in. Stops at the half boards. Loses it to Sly Kovalov as he sticked away. Ryba to Clarkson. Clarkson cutting in. Loses it. Tipped in up to Abraham. Abraham. Cross ice to Petrick. Petrick shot is blocked by Marlon Gruen. Petrick knockdown crew. Not going to be called a trip there. It looked like it might have been close, but no call on the play. Beaugrand, the defenseman, able to shove off the hit from Gil Romainders, but Romainders sticks with it with a good stick and pokes it away. Romainders up to Kovalov. Kovalov enters the zone. Gets past Braun. Centers to Ryba, and it's knocked away. Braun will have it now behind his own net. Nick O'Shea, the goal scorer for Boston, comes away. Has been Schwital to the red line and dumps in. Pulling back now. McIntyre, he has room on the right side. Oh, and it's knocked away by Braun. A good stick there by Beaugrand. And Tonison up to Schwital. Schwital loses it. Bowden. Now it's over to McIntyre. Michelson now will come up with it. This fourth line for New York. See if they can get something going. Heinonen always bodied there. Bowden loses it for a sec. Holenbeck will get back on it for New York. Flipping in, and Beaugrand is the first one there. Braun up to O'Shea. O'Shea to Schwital. Christensen has a little bit of room. He'll get to the red line and dump it in. First one on it will be Heinonen for New York. He beats Schwital off the wall. Heinonen Now cross ice. McIntyre had it. Ooh, and gets it poked away by Adelson. Nolan Cherry for Boston. It's bumped at the red line. Ryan Jordan tries to keep going through. Kuznetsov now up to Barron. Barron will stop. Gets it to Kuznetsov. Stop, and they score! It is Joseph Michelson on the rebound attempt there. So Kuznetsov to Barron. Hits off the pad of Sabo. He can't control the rebound. And it is put through by Joseph Michelson. So that fourth liner getting some run there on the extended shift. Tito Westbrook now back to Lindholm. Over to Paul. Paul fires it way wide. Not sure if that was blocked in front. Anderson loses it for a sec. Vinogradov gets tripped up, and that's going to be a penalty on Emil Barron. So Barron will head to the box. Pretty obvious trip there on Neil Vinogradov. So Boston now finds themselves back down 3 goals. Look to make it a 2-goal game here. Joubert gets it blocked in front by Lindholm. Lindholm will get it out. Anderson now up to King. King stops at the dot. Shots. Stopped by Anderson. So now Calvin Anderson will take this face-off against Sebastian Nash. Just under a minute 40 left here on the power play. Nash wins it, and Heinonen will get it down for the Empire. We're going Neil Vinogradov up to Anderson. Anderson across the blue line. He's bodied there by Heinonen. King now. Anderson in front. Stopped. King back out to Anderson. Anderson bodied there again. He sticks with it though. Gets to the front. Shot. Stopped by Otto Anderson. So Anderson on Anderson crime there as Otto Anderson robs Calvin a couple times in front. As Vince Vital will go up against Sebastian Nash in the faceoff dot. Nolan Cherry comes away with it. Oh, and another penalty here on New York. A slash right off the faceoff. Gottfried Ohlenbeck. So Shvatal will get this 5-on-3 started, hopefully with a face-off when he does. Back to Vinogradov, picked up by Lindholm. Lindholm will flip it out, so they'll have a little over a minute of 5-on-3 action here, will Boston. See if they can do anything with it. Shvatal, a 2-on-1, picked off. Oh, and Anderson gloves it out of the air. That probably was going to go over the net anyway, but Anderson doesn't take any chances as that puck was flipped up high up in the air. He's able to get a glove on it and hold onto it for the Empire. So Shvatal again in the face-off dot against DiFolino. DiFolino wins it. Crew then loses it for New York, and Lindholm gets a piece of it, gets it out with 45 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Vinogradov off the boards. Oh, and it just goes wide. It'll come on to Anderson, and he will hold onto it. Another face-off here as it'll be the top power play unit for Boston. Anderson going up against DiFolino. DiFolino able to win it away from Calvin Anderson and flip it out. And Vinogradov just one on it for Boston. They'll get it up to Stevens. Stevens with room. Anderson cutting in. Can't get a shot away. Was on his backhand, tried to get back to his forehand and gets bumped off. Christensen. Now it's all the way down to King. Oh, and a good cross-ice pass. Broken up there. King looking for Anderson. Right idea. It's knocked away at the last second by the New York defender. So now that is it for the 5-on-3. They just have a single man advantage here. Does Boston for another 35 seconds. Anderson up to King. King will try to get free. King loses it. Lindholm. Romainders now. Oh, it's tipped away. Anderson behind the net. King tries to come out in front, loses it. Anderson up to Vinogradov to Christensen. Vinogradov holds it in. Anderson fires shot. Stopped. King on the rebound. Can't get it through. Now Stevens knocked away. They wrestle for the puck. We have about 8 seconds left on the power play. Oh, and a good blocker save, and then Anderson gets a glove on it. Lindholm up to Barron, and that'll do it for the power play. So a good penalty kill there, 5-on-3 and 5-on-4 for New York. So we hit the 5.5-minute mark. Boston down 4-1 here in New York. King over to Stevens. Stevens pulling up, loses it to Crew. It'll be Clarkson now, losing it to Stevens. Stevens down low to Cherry. Shot, Spatal gets robbed by the glove of Anderson. Joubert down low. Spatal tries to cut out in front of the net. Cherry loses it now. It'll be Jamie Ryba for New York. And he's blasted there, and we will have a fight. Brandon Jordan. I can't quite tell who that is for New York. Oh, it is Sly Kovalov. I was thinking he was 22. My fault. So Brandon Jordan against Sly Kovalov there at center ice. And down goes Kovalov. So Brandon Jordan comes away with the win in the fight there. His Yachts teammates fired up after that. Kovalov will head to the box for fighting. And as will Brandon Jordan. Two physical players there. More than happy to drop the gloves and go at it with one another. So we are outside in the neutral zone, just outside the New York zone. And Tonasin won by Spatal. Boston will still have it. Vinogradov to O'Shea, and he'll lose it at the blue line. Picked off by Vinogradov. 4 minutes now here in the middle frame. Christensen gets it over to Clarkson. Clarkson to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov loses it for a sec, but keeps with it. Shot. They score! It'll be Emil Barron. So gets thrusted up to that top line with Ryba getting hurt. Kuznetsov and Clarkson set up Emil Barron for the goal. Barron had the first goal in PIHANA history, as well as the first goal, obviously, for the New York Empire against this Boston Yachts team. So now a 5-1 lead here, getting to the late stages of the second period for New York. Boston will have it at the boards. He's pressed there, trying to get it free. Running back now, Kuznetsov. Oh, and he can't get the shot away. And they have made a change in goal. Benny Sabel has been replaced again by Ronnie Abedisiani. Anderson, shot, sticked away by Anderson. Anderson to King. Anderson now back in front, can't get it. King tries to get free from the corner, but Henneman won't let him. And then he kicks it up the board, and it'll get to Kalen Bowden. Kalen Bowden, try to turn. Oh, and it's turned over. Anderson lost it at the blue line. Mike McIntyre bodied there by Neil Vinogradov. Jackson King coming in 3-on-3 for Boston. King tries to flip it back as they were going off for a change. So Backlov will go back for it. Backlov will stop, turn, gets it to Braun. Braun gets it to Josiah Stevens. Josiah Stevens stops. Braun at the point. He'll lose it along the half wall there. Gets it to Stevens. Stevens, oh, and the shot goes wide. Backlov the first on it. He'll get it low to Anderson. Stevens can't beat Anderson short side. Henneman now up for New York. Under 30 seconds left here in the second period. Boston trying to get away from the boards with it. It will be Anderson. He'll go back to Backlov. He'll hold there in his own zone. He'll get it up to Tipton with 3, 2, 1. Tipton on goal. Stopped by Anderson, and that'll end the second period. So 3 goals here in the second for New York. The most recent chasing Benny Sabel from the game. The Empire have a 5-1 lead after 2 here at home. So we will again take you to a quick second intermission here and then be back with you for the third period from Geico Center in New York. And welcome back. We are ready for third period action here at the Geico Center in New York City. As the New York Empire jump out to a 5-1 lead here as they enter the third period on their rivals from Boston, the Yachts. Clarkson will lose it there, and it'll be Calvin Anderson. Boston needing something to go their way just to make this game interesting. Stevens stopped by Otto Anderson. Boston leading the way with shots with 25 on net, but it has not mattered as New York with a 5-1 lead, and it's been mostly the power play for New York getting the job done. Stevens down low. King on his backhand couldn't get it away. Clarkson gets it out to DiFolino. So it looks like they're rotating that left wing position with Ryba going out. King now up to Stevens. Stevens blasted there by Olenbeck, and Olenbeck will take the puck away. Stevens slow to get up. He will get back in the play. Shot blocked away from DiFolino. Stevens now with a new stick. Come into the zone. Gets bodied to the board there. Hennanen will stick with him. And Hennanen will kick it out of the zone. So Stevens over to Backlov, up to Shpital. Shpital, stop there. Oh, he'll stick with it. Shpital now down low. O'Shea goes wide. Shpital behind the net. Out front, short. They score! So it'll be Isaac Christensen. Great playmaking ability by Esvin Shpital. The Czech product sets up Isaac Christensen playing behind the net. Pulls Otto Anderson out of position, and Christensen drives the net and scores. So good backside play there as they're able to set up the goal to make it a 5-2 game. Similar, almost exactly similar to the score that we had first time around between these two teams. Abedisiani, his first action there, gets a stop. One away by Shpital from Michelson. It'll be Isaac Christensen, the most recent goal scorer. So O'Shea. O'Shea stopped by Anderson. Hennanen will come up with it. It'll be Kalen Bowden for New York. Kalen Bowden flips it down. It'll be Sasha Backlov on it for Boston. Backlov up to Christensen. Christensen looking to turn, and he'll flip it down. Olenbeck will have it. Gets it out to Bowden. Bowden to McIntyre. McIntyre looks to get it in, and he does. It'll be Vinogradov. Over to O'Shea. O'Shea tries to get to the Vinogradov, and it's picked off by Michelson. Vinogradov now to Shpital, to O'Shea. 5 minutes gone here in the third. Boston getting one to make it a 3-goal game. One more would tighten things up quite a bit here in New York. Michelson up to DiFolino. DiFolino almost loses it, but we'll keep track of it. Now Emil Barron, he'll lose it. It'll be Olav Antonissen. Gets it to Vinogradov. Vinogradov up to Adelson. Adelson will flip it in. And Jordan, nope. Hennanen, the first one on it. Looked like they were battling there. I thought Jordan came away with it. Hennanen able to stick it away. Puck driven in by New York. Antonissen for Boston in the corner. They'll fish at it. And it'll be Nolan Cherry for Boston. Will get out of there. Gets it up to Brandon Jordan. Brandon Jordan flips it down. It'll be Edmund Paul on it. Paul loses it. At the side of the net, Brandon Jordan. Back to the point to Antonissen. Over to Vinogradov. To Cherry. Oh, and it's blocked down in front. A good setup there by Boston. Unable to get it through. Adelson will watch there. Cherry at the line. Comes out of the zone. Vinogradov will circle in the neutral zone as he waits for them to touch up. Vinogradov. Cross ice to King. King cutting in. Loses it to Westbrook. Westbrook now up to DiFolino. DiFolino. Enters the zone. Barron to Westbrook. Setting up Lindholm. Oh, and it's knocked down in front, and Abedisiani will get a hold of it. Back for a face-off here in the Boston zone. It'll be Michelson against Anderson. Fourth line against first line, and the fourth line able to win it for New York. Bowden up to Paul. Paul to Michelson. Michelson loses it. Backlov will fight back with McIntyre in the corner. Michelson tries to center, and Bogran, big defenseman, able to pick it off. Josiah Stevenson. Stevenson gets the shot blocked away, and Paul will fly in to get it for New York. Like McIntyre up to Michelson. Knocked away by Backlov and then picked off there by Backlov. Anderson up to Stevens. Stevens probing, goes to the corner, now gets it to the middle. King, oh, and it's off the post, I think. Comes back in front of Anderson and he holds onto it. Anderson might have got it with the stick handle there as well. It looked like it was destined for the net. Spital, face off against Clarkson. Clarkson wins it for New York. Romainders almost loses it right in front of his own goal. Romainders now will circle back with it. Enter his own zone. Clarkson up to Kovalov in the offensive zone. Kovalov cross ice. Picked off by Isaac Christensen. Christensen up to O'Shea. Nick O'Shea skating wide to Backlov. And Backlov gets a pad stop from Anderson. Sasha Backlov jumping up in the play. Bogran over to Esben Spital, and he will be offsides as Nick O'Shea jumps in ahead of the play. So 8:40 left here in the third. New York leading the game 5-2. The exact same score that we had the first time around between these two teams with their game in Boston. Spital wins it back. It'll be Sasha Backlov. He'll flip it in. It'll be Gil Romainders up to Caesar Clarkson. Clarkson loses to Christensen. Christensen now from Backlov. Christensen gets to the slot. Shot gets blocked away, and DiFolino comes up with it for New York. Kovalov will turn. Kovalov over to Clarkson. Clarkson in his own zone to Crew. Crew gets it up to DiFolino. Bogran watches him there. He'll flip it in, and the first one there will be Backlov. He'll press to the board by Clarkson. O'Shea coming in to help his defenseman. And now O'Shea will come away with it to the red line, and he'll dump it in. First one on it is Romainders for New York. Spital will fight with him there. Spital almost comes free with it, but not quite. It'll be Caesar Clarkson for New York. He loses it. Barry Tipton with speed gets bodied there. Vladko Petric. Shot scores! Vladko Petric. The Romanian forward, no more as an enforcer, has an opportunity in the high slot. Nobody picks him up, and he fires it low glove to beat Otto Anderson to make it a 5-3 game. So now just 2 goals separating these two teams with 6 minutes left here in the third. Olav Antonesen stopped there by Westbrook. Westbrook will turn up. He'll get to the red line and flip in. New York looking to hold on to this lead. They've been the better team, it feels like, all night. And now they just find themselves up 2 with Boston all the momentum. Calvin Anderson behind the net. Tries to get it down low and it's picked off. Vladko Petric just to have the goal. He'll get that shot knocked away. It'll be Emil Barron. Oh, Emil Barron has room. DiFolino shot. Sticked aside by Abedisiani. Westbrook battled there with Antonesen, and King will take it away for Boston. So Jackson King coming in 1-on-3. He now has Anderson going to the net. And it's knocked away by Anderson. Hollenbeck bodied there by King. The 2 number 5s go at it. King, Hollenbeck keep fighting. King now up high to Vinogradov. Vinogradov will skate down the boards. He'll try to get it through, and Hollenbeck will pick it off. McIntyre there with it. Pestered by Jackson King, and he'll get away. Under 4 minutes left here in the third. 2-goal game. Heninen, a good toe save by Abedisiani. Jackson King now up for Boston again. He'll cut wide, and it'll be picked off by Hollenbeck. Bowden, 4th line in big minutes out here for New York. Heninen up to McIntyre. McIntyre along the far boards. Heninen in, knocked away. And it'll be put on net to Abedisiani with 2:41 left here in the third. 2-goal game as New York holding on right now, 5-3. Face off, ready to go here. Backlov able to get it for Boston, win by Spital. O'Shea will dump it in. First one there is Lindholm. Boston needing to get on the forecheck here. They almost do, but they're able to get it free to Sebastian Nash. He'll dump in. Sasha Backlov, first one on it. Jimmy Krause battles with him there. Isaac Christensen up with it to Spital. Spital sticked aside for a second. He'll now come in, get to the boards. Nash, Sebastian Nash away with it. Just 90 seconds left. Time ticking down on the Yachts here tonight. Christensen will get it up. Bogran to Spital. Oh, and he had O'Shea on the backside, but he just couldn't get the pass cleanly across. A good setup there as Bogran got it down low. Backlov sticks it away. O'Shea now with under a minute. Once they get into the offensive zone, I'm sure that will be, and yep, there it is. Abedisiani will lead. Shot. Ooh, and blocked aside by Anderson. Anderson had an opportunity there. Jackson Paul comes away with it. Edmund Paul, excuse me, comes away with it. Christensen in the slot. He scores! Isaac Christensen with his second goal of the game on the turnover there. So now just a 1-goal game with 37 seconds left here in New York as the fans rise to their feet with anxiety. New York looking to hold on to this lead. Boston needs to get possession to get Abedisiani out there to get the extra attacker on. Clarkson shot, knocked away by Abedisiani. And it'll come free. In front, Kovalov loses it. Anderson up to Stevens. Stevens to King. King will get bumped there. It'll be Gottfried Olenbeck back with it. Stevens will now get it out in front. King can't get it through. DiFolino will turn back with it. King pushes him there. It'll be Hennanen with it. 8 seconds. 7. He just needs to get it out of the zone. And he does. It'll be up to Kovalov. Oh, and he shoots it wide, but it does not matter. New York is going to survive. So the New York Empire jumped out to a 5-1 lead, and they end up gripping to that lead as they win the game 5-4 here at home. Their first home win. Boston unable to make that crazy comeback with the late goals by Isaac Christensen and Vlatko Petric. So a big win here for New York. We will send you out for our 4th game of our quintuple header, and is the only game pitting a Canadian team against an American team as the Toronto Royals get ready to host the Chicago Lakers in Toronto. So we will send you out to Toronto right now. If you would like to stick around and watch our post-game coverage, we will be right back with you in about 10 seconds. All right, folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining us for post-game coverage of the New York Empire's 5-4 win over the Boston Yachts. New York, again, had a 5-1 lead in this game. Looked like the better team most of the way through, but Boston in the third period is able to net 3, 2 of them coming from Isaac Christensen, and they find themselves down a goal but unable to get anything going offensively with the empty net in those last 30 seconds there for Boston. So, total shots in the game, Boston with 33, New York 25 hits, Boston leading 37-28. And then again, Boston leading in the faceoff dot. So the stats might not exactly read out that New York, was the better, or that Boston was the better team, but it feels like New York was the better team most of the way tonight. Both teams averaging or coming up with 15 penalty minutes all the way through. And yes, that'll be it for the team stats that we have right now. And so we will head to the home team, the winners tonight, as it is Jamie Ryba, who was hurt late there in the game on a big hit. As Jamie Ryba with 3 assists there, Kuznetsov a goal and 2 assists, Clarkson goal and an assist, Hennanen 2 assists, Tito Westbrook and Emil Barron both with a goal and an assist, and then Joseph Michelson gets a goal. So Olenbeck, Paul, Lindholm, all with nothing. Paul and Lindholm with -2s. Tony DiFolino out there for everything bad that could have happened for New York tonight. He was a -4. He got thrust into a bit of a tough spot as he was playing up on lines that he's not exactly familiar with, and he was kind of all over the place, it felt like. So, I mean, Tony DiFolino, I think you know where you want him. You want him to stay on your third line, be a physical defensive presence, and he wasn't exactly great for the Empire here tonight with that -4. So, any other, let's see, 6 hits for Olenbeck. Good performance there. Hennanen with 5. It again feels like that top D pair doing a lot of heavy lifting, especially when Lindholm gets you a -2, Edmund Paul -2. Like, you need a little bit more out of those guys on that second D pair to help your defense. And now to the goaltending. Otto Anderson looked good through 2 periods, and then right at the end there kind of faltered. Again, kind of the inconsistency that we saw from Ellis Rask with their second game. We saw the same here from Otto Anderson. On 33 shots against, he makes 29 saves, giving up 4 goals for an .879 save percentage. At the end of the day, it is a win for the young goaltender and his first win of his career, the Canadian here in New York. But still maybe a question mark there for the New York Empire. So that is going to do it for New York. We will now head to Boston as Isaac Christensen with 2 goals and an assist, and then Nick O'Shea with a goal and an assist are the multi-point getters. And then Shvital, Tipton, and Petrick all with 1 point each. So that top line, Anderson, King, and Stevens, again, nothing on the board, and it ends up being another loss for the Boston Yachts. So again, they're going to rely on them heavily. And their decor, I mean, they were pluses though. Anderson a +2, King a +1, Backlov a +1, Stevens a 0, Bogran a +1, Joubert a -1, Del Kolar -1. That third line not really doing much. Brandon Jordan, Nolan Cherry, and Ingolf Adolfsson -1, -2, -2. Danny Abraham a +2, good performance out of him in the limited minutes that he got. He was out on the ice for big moments. And then our hits, and Boston not the most physical team. With one person being physical, they kind of spread it out. So Christensen with 4, Backlov with 4, Gron with 4, and Vinogradov with 4 as well. And then to the goaltending, and again, it's looking more and more clear that Benny Sobel is not the answer here in Boston, as he gives up 5 goals on just 20 shots, leading to a .750 save percentage. And Abedisiani, he was only tested 5 times, but he came up with all 5 saves, which is more than you could say for Sobel. So right now, Ronnie Abedisiani looking like the better option for the Yachts as they go forward. They will have a day off as they get ready to head up to Toronto. So again, they've played the same few teams these first 4 games of their season, kind of a schedule anomaly there. So as they head to Toronto, it would not surprise me one bit if it's Abedisiani, and if it's his net until he can prove otherwise that he doesn't deserve it right now. Sobel, they've given him 3 chances and he hasn't looked good in just about any of them. Not many shots on goal and not many saves. And if I'm not mistaken, they have been winless in his 3 starts. I'll check and just make sure that my notes aren't off there. No, he did get their win against Ottawa. I'm mistaken there. So, but either way, Sobel still gave up 6 goals in that game. So it would not surprise me one bit if it now becomes Abedisiani's goal in Boston. Now we will head to the goals here. As you see, just the penalties. New York with 3 right off the bat. Boston couldn't do anything with it early as Kuznetsov and Westbrook scored in the first period there, both on the power play. Caesar Clarkson set up by Jamie Ryba and Tito Westbrook. And then Boston finally on the board about 2 minutes later from Nick O'Shea. Michelson and Barron stretched that lead back out to a 5-1 game. And then in the third, all 3 goals coming from the Boston Yachts as it's Christensen, Petrick, and Christensen. So a bit of that depth scoring that you're looking for. Christensen, I guess, is on that second line, but he's not known as a big goal scorer. And definitely Władko Petrick, not known as a goal scorer, much more of an enforcer there for the Yachts. So that is it for your stats and news from tonight's game as the New York Empire come away with a 5-4 win over the Boston Yachts, their rivals, their second win against the Yachts so far in this early season. That's the only team they've beaten thus far. So New York hoping to maybe see some other competition and pick up a win. Their next game will be at home against the Chicago Lakers, who you will get to watch next as we send you out to Toronto for the Chicago Lakers at the Toronto Royals. Thanks for joining us, folks.